Welcome guys to a brand new video on Wuthering Wave. Now last time I made a video going over why I believe we don't need a new weapon type in the game, because during the survey that was happening there was a question on like, do you think we should add new weapons? Now initially in the Reddit post there was one person who said, yo, having new weapon types will be crazy good, but then there's another player who said, yo, actually we don't need new weapon types because basically all the characters we've gotten so far technically don't fall in the right archetype, or in the right weapon type. Sorry, I should have said that, it's much easier. So in terms of like Jian is a character whose main weapon is technically a lance, a spear, but technically in the game you have to summon for his weapon, which is a broadsword. We have another character like Zeshi whose main weapon is technically a brush, but when you summon for her it is the rectifier. So I do believe we don't necessarily need new weapon types to have some of the cool weapons that you guys are asking to be seen in game. So of course I thought it would be like an easy question or easy answer. Yes, we don't need new weapon types, but actually the community is split down in the middle. Actually I say that, but I'm just basing that based on my own comments. So what I've decided to do is take a look at the comments on the video to see people's takes and idea, to see whether or not I could get behind their own logic and their own thinking to decide whether or not I would change my mind on this discussion. But I still, right now, as I'm starting making this video, I still am a firm believer that we do not need new weapon types. But let me know down in the comment section again whether or not you guys have better better arguing points to determine which one would be better. So a boomerang would be a cool weapon. They were used hunting in various countries. Yeah, I do agree, boomerang would be cool, but we don't necessarily need a new weapon type for that to actually happen. I don't know how they could do it, but based on Koro Games logic, they have done that so far. We got a paintbrush as a weapon and it turned out to be a rectifier. I think if we got like it was a pistol, that could be changed into a boomerang technically. And a character that is technically classed as a pistol type, it's a boomerang. It's just very unique. It shoots boomerang, that's what I think. Okay, so yeah, I do agree with that logic though. Boomerang would be a cool and versatile weapon. I want new types kind of weapons like scythe, daggers, crossbow, axe, and Gatling style machine. Now I actually mentioned this in the video, we don't need new weapon types for that. Again, scythe can easily be a broadsword or a sword type character and it transforms into a scythe. Literally done. Look at Jian right now. His weapon is a broadsword, but when he uses his ultimate, it transforms into his own weapon. They could literally do the same thing. Again, take a look at Genshin Impact. Okay, let's just quickly take a look at Genshin Impact. A character that has a scythe is Arlecchino. To be honest, it's when you have her own exclusive weapon, it is technically a scythe. But again, they didn't really need to create a new weapon type or a scythe class. They just left it as well, to be honest, Genshin Impact does have a what's it called, a lance, or a, what do they call it, a spear. They do have a spear category. So today, yeah, they do. They technically have a spear. My brain went out the window. So I do think, again, in Wuthering Waves, a scythe can easily be a sword character or broadsword, and when they use the ultimate, it just transforms into a scythe. A dagger can easily be a sword type class as well. It's just the character will be using a shorter sword. Easy. Now when it comes to crossbow again can be pistol. I guess they kind of shot themselves in the foot calling it a pistol class, because now when you think of pistol, you're thinking of modern day weapon. But like I said with the boomerang, they can literally change the crossbow into, again, a pistol, into the pistol class again. And an axe can also again be broadsword, and a Gatling style gun easily can be in the gun category as well. But you know what, I want to see all of these weapons in the game as well, so I'm gonna like this as well. This is all cool weapons. A scythe would be absolutely crazy, but again, I don't think they need any weapon type for that. A dagger can easily be a sword, and it would be really cool as well. Yeah, anyways, let's look at the next one. If they did, I would really only want them to include a 4-star event weapon that's decent to compensate for the lack of them being on banner due to the type being new personally. Okay, I think I kind of understand what you're trying to say. To be honest, before they even okay, let's say they do decide to add new weapon types, they need to first fix the 4-star weapons we have in game. They are very trash. Like for main DPS characters, some of the 4-stars we have are just absolutely horrible. So if they do add a new class or new type of weapons, they need to do a whole lot better job at giving us 4-star weapons that are actually very good, or event weapons that are actually very good and useful. Okay, and then I think it wouldn't be a bad idea, because right now for main DPSs, some of them feel like, okay, if you want to see them hit really hard and be really good, or be good even, you kind of need a weapon. You kind of need a weapon. They're only you kind of need a weapon. Now if they do add new weapon types and give us not free, but a standard 5-star weapon as well that you can technically summon for using the standard summons, that would be cool as well. But at the end of the day, we still have to, you know, farm out that resources to summon for those weapons. But again, I just think it'll just be easier to keep with the same weapon types we have right now. I don't agree. Oh, okay, this is gonna be a very tasty one. I don't agree. We need new weapon types. You guys want to turn this game into Genshin? Okay, I freaking knew this. I knew this comment was gonna be absolutely golden. Shitting on Genshin. I freaking knew someone's gonna say that. Lamo, look at how Punishing Grey Raven doesn't have a problem with a lot of. Punishing Grey Raven's weapon banner is literally 3 multis. Please, let's not even compare it. Punishing Grey Raven and Wuthering Waves are 2 different. The game gives you enough resources that and if you even spend $5, you can get the character plus the weapon super easy, super cheap as well. It's not the same game, guys. Wuthering Waves, Coral Games, I know they created it. Coral Games created Wuthering Waves and Punishing Grey Raven, but look at the resources required in the weapons banner. Like, come on, please don't try this. Look at how Punishing Grey Raven doesn't have a problem with a lot of weapons type. Everyone doesn't even have a problem with pulling weapons since it's guaranteed in the first place. But you still have to do 80 summons, right? Like, it's not a valid point to say it doesn't matter because it's guaranteed. It's still 80 summons. You still have to put 80 summons into the standard into the weapons banner, plus into the character banner as well. Again, if you're free to play, it's just gonna get worse if they do add new weapon types that you need to summon 5-star weapons for, rather than just sharing a 5-star weapon between the rest of the other characters in game. Going to the first place, and for sure they could add lesser and STD types. Of that weapon. You guys are the one ruining it and turning it into Genshin. Yeah, the points in here are not okay. I get it. You don't want it to be like Genshin, where Genshin only has like, I don't know how many weapon types they do have, but again, the same thing with Genshin. They literally added a pistol and then they don't have a pistol class. I think just like how Genshin was able to do that, the Wuthering Waves can easily do that with, you know, the type of weapons they have right now. It's not going to turn the game bad. I don't think it's a fair point to say this, and also to compare it to Punishing Grey Raven, not the same. Yeah, I also don't agree. Okay, there we go. They are smart enough to make sure that if they release a new weapon type, they will give out free-to-play options, and they will add in new ways to get several weapons of the new line. They will add craftable and event weapons. Yeah, they've already done that, and the weapons suck. Like, again, I said this. If they do want to add it, I am fine, as long as they improve on the 4-star weapons we have in game. Then I will be absolutely fine with them adding new weapons. Okay, but so far they haven't really like given me faith with the 4-star weapons we have in game. I can easily see Kuro just handing out over via mail, and yes, I want to see more variety of weapon types. You can easily, again, like I said, you don't, okay, I'm not going to repeat my point, but having different variety of weapon is not an issue right now. Again, they have done that with paintbrushes, they've done that with lance, they're going to do that with way more stuff as well. Trust me on that. Okay. And again, Coral Games, like you said, is smart, but I do think if Coral Games do add new weapon types, they won't really make it bad for the players, but at the same time, it's just way easier to go with the game as it is right now. I think for Wura, the current weapon archetype allows characters that are coded it to use other weapons like Zeshi's paintbrush, Jian's spear, and lance. So I don't know why, if this game had light cones instead of weapons, they could have bring variety, but I already love it though. Okay, I get that point, I get it. I think it's going to improve it. I play since day one. I don't have a single decent claymore, not a 5-star one. I think it's talking about broadsword, and I don't pull for DPS weapons that have no crit or damage. I get that. So like 5-star weapons, if they don't have a crit rate or crit damage, it's kind of bad, I can't lie, but I don't think we've had that so far. I can't really remember. So if I have a new weapon, likely nothing would change. If they add a new weapon, nothing would change. Okay, the fact that I don't use a weapon over many characters also doesn't bother me. I hate to swap gears or echoes. Now, I'm not going to spoil it, but the devs are going to make it easier to swap between echoes and gears, relatively easy. I don't want to spoil what the devs are planned for future updates, but I know right now, especially if you play Genshin, like trying to switch out your gear is absolutely atrocious. It's just, oh, I have to keep switching out my pieces like this. But if we have a loadout feature, I think this type of worry won't happen. And I do think Koro Games already know about this. They definitely are going to be adding presets and loadouts in the future. I can see it. I can see into the future, guys. Okay, I always get each character's their own weapon. Yeah, okay, and I only battle. Okay, I'm not trying to so I'm a very low spender, but the weapon banner not being a scam. Yeah, true, the weapon banner again in Koro Games is absolutely amazing. Adding more weapon types may be pointless, but saying it would ruin the game is pretty silly. Guys, it's YouTube, come on, I have to put that in the title, come on. It won't ruin, actually it kind of will ruin the game as well. Yeah, if they don't do it the right way, we might have a period where it's just absolutely atrocious, but then of course knowing Koro Games, they will fix it because they listen. But at the same time, I do think when I use the ruin the game, again, it's for YouTube. Anyways, Koro Games, Koro should have just made the resonators terminal what. Okay, I don't know about ZZZ, so I can't actually comment on this right now. We are not getting weapons easily. So to be honest, standard banner summons are still relatively harder to obtain, but we still get enough, I guess. We do have chances to get 4-star weapons easily, but again, no one cares for the 4-star weapons. It's the 5-star standard banner weapons that I was mainly talking about, just in case that's what it's talking about. Reading the dumb comments who want new weapon types makes me sad. As someone who doesn't invest too much money on gadget games, I want the game to have more variable 4-star weapons first before adding new weapon types. That is true as well. That's true. Again, like I said, if they want to add new weapon types, improve the 4-star weapons we have. I think they are asking this because HSR is going to add a new path that they forgot that HSR heavily relies on which path a character is for their movement. Wuthering just puts a scythe in Rover's moveset and says, yes, that's a sword character, alright. That's true, I kind of get the point. It's kind of weird, okay, with characters like Jian, I'm not gonna lie, he is a broadsword character, but then he transforms into a lance. It's a bit like, okay, is he really a broadsword type character? So again, in the future, if they do that, it's gonna feel kind of weird. So I do understand where Koro Games is coming from, trying to add different archetypes to make it make sense, you know. If in the future we get characters with a bow, are you gonna be weirded out that they added it in the sword category? I kind of understand that, actually. I kind of understand that. I get that point. Yeah, okay, I get that point. Now I want a new weapon type. Don't really care about all the problems. It won't ruin the game whatsoever. Cool. I don't want a sword user that sometimes uses X. I want an X user. That's actually a valid point as well. Like I said with Jian, he's a lance sword, broadsword. Okay, he's a broadsword character, but when he uses his ult, he uses his lance. I'm pretty sure many people would rather use his lance than, or most people might have a preferred weapon type that they want to use, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much the point. People are, you know, split between whether they think adding a new weapon types would make sense in the game. I still don't think any of the comments really changed my mind on it. I do think that if Koro Games do implement new weapon types, I think they will do a good job at it. But again, I think we don't necessarily need it. I think necessarily is the key word in here. They could add it, honestly. I will have no issue if they add it, but they do have to release like 4-star weapons that are actually good of that weapon type. Then they also have to release 5-star standard banner weapons, I think, for this as well, you know, so that people can use standard banner resources to get this new type of weapons, and they can slot it into other future characters within that role or within that type. That would be cool as well. So, but knowing that Koro Games, if they do implement this, I won't really it wouldn't really bother me. Again, that's pretty much it. I trust Koro Game. Literally, that's it. It's been your boy AC Gamer. Let me know down in the comment section if you agree or not, and I'm out.